Hi everyone and welcome, this is the Apostate Prophet. I was recently reading some Islamic sources, and there again, as always, as so often, Muhammad was cursing someone, which always makes me laugh. And then I thought, let me look into the hadith, and search for every hadith in which Muhammad curses someone. Now, cursing someone is seen as a bad practice. You should abstain from it, because it is seen as something very serious. It is believed to have very severe spiritual consequences, both here and in the hereafter. So, Muhammad cursing someone, or saying, may Allah curse, or Allah has cursed this and that person, is something extremely serious. Muhammad warns never to curse another Muslim, and that you will condemn yourself or the other if you do so. You would think that therefore cursing would be reserved for very extreme things, right? So how about I start with my favorite one, to show you Allah's and Muhammad's definition of extreme. A woman came to the Prophet and said, my daughter is going to get married, and she had the measles and her hair has fallen out. Can I put extensions in her hair? The Messenger of Allah said, Allah has cursed the one who does hair extensions and the one who has that done. Why would you curse hair extensions? You might find it dumb and express that if you are a douchebag, but Allah curses someone for hair extensions? Since I grew up with Islamic logic, which is a very shameful and troublesome combination of two words, I get the idea behind this. It is something like, oh, you make yourself look unnatural. Allah didn't create you with fake hair, stick to your natural appearance. But seriously, a woman wants to look differently, wants to look beautiful, and attaches fake hair to her hair. And Allah, the almighty creator of the worlds, curses her for that? Seriously, doesn't it look very much like Muhammad had very strong opinions about very meaningless things, especially when it came to women, and he made his very strong opinions look like Allah's judgment. But women is a good subject. According to Muhammad, Allah has cursed women who practice tattooing or who get tattoos done. Tattooing is such a horrible act. Women who remove hair from their faces. Women who separate their teeth in order to look beautiful. And in general, women who change their natural appearance. Isn't it insane? Muslim women who are afraid of removing hair from their faces because they are afraid of the curse of Allah shouldn't be afraid. They should remove Islam from their lives instead and be happy. Seriously, what the hell? Let's leave women aside and come to another popular topic. According to his trusted followers, Muhammad would pray for the Muslims and curse non-Muslims at the end of prayers. That is completely unsurprising, unless you are new to all of this and believe in the messed up, weird narrative that Islam was actually tolerant and misunderstood. Islam is not misunderstood. It's worse than whatever you've heard. Muhammad also cursed scorpions. Yes, apparently he was once praying and a scorpion stung him. So he said, may Allah curse the scorpion because they sting you whether you're praying or not. Because scorpions are totally supposed to care about your prayer. You're also supposed to kill them. Muhammad and his patience. Cursing all scorpions because a scorpion stung me is something I would do, not the Holy Prophet, who is supposed to be the role model to all mankind, and Allah's mercy upon the world. But here's a more reasonable curse. Muhammad cursed those who use anything that has a soul, including animals, as a target. See, Muhammad can be reasonable. How about the following? Muhammad said that Allah curses a thief who steals an egg or who steals a rope. So something as simple as an egg or a rope. You are cursed for that. And not only are you cursed, your hand is also cut off. You should reload and remember this barbaric image of Islam that we all have, let's admit it. Muhammad also said that Allah curses wine, its drinker, its server, who is merely doing his job, its seller, its buyer, its presser, the one for whom it is pressed, the one who conveys it, and the one to whom it is conveyed. That's a lot of curse for a merciful Allah and his merciful Prophet, merely for alcohol. According to another report, he supported this by saying that the Jews were cursed. Surprise, who would have thought? Because eating fat was forbidden to them, but they made soap from fat and sold it instead. This is a very weird narrative altogether, which shows that Muhammad has a very poor understanding of Judaism. But knowing and understanding are not two things that Muhammad is known for. Coming back to women, Muhammad reportedly cursed women who visit graves, and women who loudly and violently grieve after a dead person. You are a woman, your husband dies, you die inside. You naturally express your overwhelming sadness, and Allah curses you for that. Totally reasonable. According to another report, he even cursed wailing women and those who listened to them, but this report cannot be fully traced back to him, although it is quite believable and sounds like something he said. And, of course, I cannot close the grave chapter without cursing the Christians and the Jews. According to a well-known report, when Muhammad was in his deathbed, about to die, one of the most important things that he said was, "May Allah's curse be on the Jews and the Christians, for they built places of worship at the graves of their prophets." These are fantastic last words. Muhammad sure knew his priorities. When you are about to die, just curse the Christians and the Jews. Muhammad said you shouldn't curse a cock, by the way, because it awakens for prayer in the morning. But hey, apparently, Muhammad cursed mannish women. His child bride Aisha told us so when she saw a woman wearing sandals. Women who act like men, as in her narrative, wear sandals that men wear, are cursed. Here is a more detailed report. The Messenger of Allah cursed the man who dressed like a woman and the woman who dressed like a man. We all know Islam is not very much into the whole LGBT stuff, but this is a bit brutal. According to another report, someone who pretends to be the son of anyone but his father will be cursed on the Day of Judgment. The concept of adoption, as we know, is forbidden in Islam, by the way. And the same goes for a freed slave who attributes his freedom to someone else. The following are also cursed: the one who accepts interest, the one who pays interest, the one who records interest, and the one who witnesses it. A certain Muslim apologist once told me that I probably left Islam because I wanted to buy a house with interest. How about child marriage? That's not cursed, by the way, that is being defended. Think about it for a second. Islamic apologists condemn financial interest, which is so bad, but they make excuses and defend Muhammad's child marriage and the concept of child marriage. Islam. Speaking of finances, someone who bribes and someone who is bribed is also cursed. In a certain incident, Muhammad cursed a whole tribe for 1 month because they revenge killed a few dozen of his men. As you can see, Allah's curse apparently completely depends on who are Muhammad's opponents in a war, the tribe as a whole, regardless of their individual beliefs and actions. And wow, we're through. Oh, here's one more. Allah's messenger said, "If a husband calls his wife to his bed, that is to have sexual relation, and she refuses and causes him to sleep in anger, the angels will curse her till morning." You know, in more reasonable cultures, we would almost call this marital rape. In Islam, it is simply the decree of Allah and His messenger, and the angels float there and curse. I don't know, to me all of this just sounds like this is how Muhammad dealt with his personal issues. When one of his 11 wives doesn't come to bed and he can't have his much needed sex because he is such a important holy prophet who has the sexual strength of 30 men, then he quickly settles the situation by saying that angels will curse that woman all night. Problem solved. You should all try that at home with your wives. It's very interesting how easily Muhammad curses, isn't it? Considering cursing is very serious according to him. I mean, look at this. The Messenger of Allah said, when a person curses somebody or something, the curse goes up to heaven, and the gates of heaven get closed. Then it comes down to the earth, and its gates get closed. Then it turns right and left, and if it doesn't find an entrance to go anywhere, it returns to the person or thing that was cursed, if he or it deserves to be cursed. Otherwise, it returns to the person who uttered the curse. What kind of childish, primitive 7th century nonsense is this? The curse flies up to heaven, but it finds the gates closed, so it comes down, and then it goes left and right, and it's like, oh, I'm a curse, where am I supposed to go now? And then it goes to the person or thing that has been cursed, if they deserve it, because the curse knows that very well. The curse is this flying weird object. And if the cursed person doesn't deserve it, then the curse comes back to the person who made the curse and says, You, I will come back to you. I am the curse. And then it goes inside you. Like, ugh. And then you are cursed because you just cursed someone who didn't deserve to be cursed. And you wasted this little curse's entire time. Islam is so ludicrous, so childish. It is so childish it almost makes me forget how barbaric it actually is. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to like, to subscribe, and to share. Most of my videos are not monetized, so you can watch them without ads. If you want to support me and my work, please consider supporting me on Patreon or on ApostateProphet.com. The link is below in the description. I'll be back soon. Until then, have a great day and stay away from Islam.